Okay guys, Black Templar here again, moving the camera slightly, pull it out a bit. Oh, that was fine actually. Okay, so I've done a couple of things here. Went ahead and finished the silver backing, because I found my actual silver. We're going to probably weather that up in a little bit. I've altered the arm slightly so I can get the right pose that I want, because I thought of a really nice pose and I had to cut into the arm a bit, but that's not really important. And I went ahead and finished doing the top parts of the regular gray. So I'm making the secondary color right now, which is just a brown and a black. It actually looks like an orange on the camera, but it's really a brown. I'm going to mix those two together because I would like a dark brown. So I'm just going to, maybe I should put that over here to see what I'm doing. Just going to mix this together. So actually I'm making more of a dark brown. This is what we're after right here. I want a really nice contrasting secondary color. Notice I'm using the back of the brush, I'm not using the brush tip to mix. You should always do that. It's really only for really nice brushes. Like, you could mix with the tip if you wanted to, but people with nicer brushes, you're going to want to do that only with your back end. Let me check the, that's really nice. You water the brush out a little bit. You can mess up the ferrule, which is this inner part of the brush, if you're not careful when you're mixing paint, if you choose to do it with a tip. Okay, so I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way and get on with this. So we're just going to go out on the outer rims, because the rims are the only thing that are a different color. Need a good amount of this. Trying to keep the same amount of pressure throughout the entire thing, so the line is straight. Slightly harder to do on a surface that is curved, but it seems to be coming out pretty okay. So there we go. Got one line out. I'm going to take this turn inside here. That went spot on perfectly. And then finish it up by connecting the two just there. And maybe fix that edge. And that edge. Okay, cool. So now we've got a good size line on the right hand side. It's just supposed to be a real subtle kind of brown. And like I said, with this model, the colors are very soft. Barely even noticing these colors here. The high contrast that we see in the Signar stuff is a thing of the past with this kind of build. Sorry if I'm not talking a lot in this part. I have to be very careful. And I don't want to say something and mess up horribly. Okay. Hopefully you're seeing all of this. And we'll scoot to the back here. Just really easily hit the back. There we go. And what's nice about all those areas that you may have messed up on when you were doing the two different shades of gray, this will cover them up just nicely. So there's one side. The second side will look much nicer. It's got a much larger width of a bar. Just jump on this angle first. Very cool. I was going for a kind of dark green, to be honest. This came out to be pretty damn close to what I was after. It's almost like a very dark mustard. Very, very dark mustard. Gotta be kind of careful though, because it might be hard to make this color again. Well, I say that when I'm really saying it would be hard as balls to make this color again. Now you may have seen in my previous videos, or may not, a good technique for doing delicate areas. So, you got paint on your brush. You have 3 points of contact to keep yourself rested. I have my arm rested here on the smokestack. You can see my hand here is rested here. Take my pinky and put it on the base. Take my, I guess this is a ring finger? Yeah, this is next to my middle finger. Rest that on the knee. And then my last finger here can go here or it can go underneath. But you want to keep 3 points of contact as best you can. Right now I have a kind of an awkward area, so I'm just using my pinky. As we've discussed before, I've done this for quite some time, so I'm able to get by with just the pinky most times. It does take some practice. This isn't something that happens overnight, of course. Make sure I get that in the middle. I can see you can see that, but I want to try and get it really close for you. So basically you're just dropping this real dark mustard down. Be sure to get underneath. This is easier to mess up with because you can cover it up real easy with either the base color or the highlight color we used. So don't feel obligated to leave dry patches that you think it'd be hard to get to. Just go ahead and throw it on, and then you can clean up with the base coat much easier than you would trying to fix over this. Or excuse me, to get in there again. What was I saying? Oh well, 4 in the morning. So very lightly. This is probably the hardest part. So I have to get in back here. The engine block kind of messes with the side a little bit more. I may have pushed it in slightly closer to this side. I'm having a little bit of difficulty getting in there, but I think if I angle correctly, yep, just try different angles. When you're trying to get into stuff, I could flip this bitch upside down, you know? This isn't a, you know, it's not going to spill everywhere. The paint isn't going to fall off or anything. So, don't be shy. And there we have it. A very subtle pair of lines, or pair of shoulders. And this is what you're after. You want it, well, this model at least. I want it to be very gritty and very, I don't know what the word is. I've been thinking about it all night. I'm trying to think what the damn word is. I want it to be the opposite of flashy. What is the opposite of flashy? Subtle, but I mean, no, there's another word. Oh well. Once again, somebody is probably screaming at their screen right now, but who cares? So I'm remembering these knee pads that we've left black this whole time. Probably been wondering why that is. They too are the secondary color. Just knocking those back a little bit. Cool. Nope, almost hit the engine there. And we'll get this front one. Check all the tops and stuff. Yep. We'll hit this front one here, and that should be it for the knees. There we are. Like I said, it's okay to get messy with this one because you can really easily cover it. And that's what I've done. I made sure to overcompensate. You can see here, maybe I went a little bit too much over this leg. If I can get it to see, maybe I went a little bit too much, it looks like. Well, I wanted to make sure to overcompensate just in case, because if I have to come back and make this color again, I don't want to risk it not being the same shade. So just put a little extra there. And I think that does it all for that color, except for here. So here's a good piece of information. I have this color made up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it again. I don't know what color best this shield would look. So what I'm going to do is paint the entire shield in this color. Okay? What that'll do is if I decide later to make only the edge this color, to make only the center this color, or to in fact only make none of it this color, I can just paint over it. Now if I were to paint the whole thing, let's say the gray color, and maybe paint only the outside rim the mustard color, and not like it, it'd be really difficult to go back again and make that color. So to paint the whole thing the mustard color, have a look at it, and then decide whether I'd like maybe just the rim, or indeed the whole thing. Make sure you're getting a good consistency. You can see a bit of the yellow, or a bit of a yellow coming through. I think I got mixed so well in the center there. And there we are. That looks really sick. It looks like a really, it actually looks pretty close to, like, have you ever seen a World War II British helmet or a World War I British helmet? It looks really close to like that. That's pretty neat. It's a really neat color. Be sure to get the edges, because this is three-dimensional. We still have a fist and a vent under there and stuff to go to. Don't forget all that is there. We can get kind of close to that. We're already pretty close to that, so we'll go ahead and leave it. I'll just knock this here and the rest of this side. There we are. So we got that shield up. Pretty neat. I've been very pleased with the colors that I've got out of, or I've gotten, excuse me, out of this build. I've done a lot of things in this build that I have not done before. And I'm very pleased. I have to say I am, in fact, very pleased. Now, let this be a lesson. I harp on this kind of a lot, but I really want people to understand. I mean, not to say that people aren't smart, you know, but I want people to experience, you know, making mistakes is okay. Matter of fact, making mistakes is the best way to learn, I maintain. It's probably the only way to learn if you really think about it, but it's not frowned upon, especially in a hobby. You know, this is all a learning curve. The entire thing is a learning curve. So you can see now I'm going to the other arm. That's because, you know, I'm, like I said, might not be able to make this color again. Just hitting everywhere where the secondary color goes with the mustardy color. And it looks spot on just there. Cool. You know what we could do, it'd be kind of a pain in the ass, so what we'll do is I want to incorporate this color a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is paint the top part of the smokestack. It's kind of a decorative piece. I remember calling it like a Victorian era kind of smokestack. If you ever looked at like Louisiana kind of, oh shit, did I touch that? I might have, a little bit. If it looked like at Louisiana or like Bayou stuff, they have these weird smokestack deals. I kind of like it actually. It's pretty sweet. I don't know, like the first thing that comes to mind is Victorian era for some reason. Maybe that's incorrect, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Once again, 4 in the morning. It may be something entirely different. Oh, balls. This video's been going on for 15 minutes. I might have to cut it. I might not. So, let me just knock this last part. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Be right back. Cheers.